Okay. Hi again. Video 2. This is for LTW, which we just did not have time to get it fully covered in class. So I really wanted to make sure that I watch you guys through this for you to do with your kiddos this week when trying to generate ideas, because they need to have 25 items in their A and N columns for number the stars. So there's probably going to get a point where they get stuck and they're going to need some help hashing out some ideas. And so in the book, in our LTW book, they're looking at comparison 2. So comparison 1 was when we're looking at what do both do, have, and are. And we're just looking at similarities. But now comparison 2 is where we're actually looking at the differences. So I gave them a worksheet, but I didn't even explain what to do with it. So I want to explain that. That way, if you do it with your kiddos this week, you know how to do that. So I'm going to flip this around. All right. So the sheet looks like this, except that it's blank. And this is what it looks like filled in. So the very first thing that we're going to have them do is actually do the similarities. So what do they both, first thing you're going to do is come up with terms. So my term is Anne-Marie, and I'm going to compare her to her mother. You can take any characters from the book. You can take the ones from your issue. So maybe you're doing Anne-Marie, should Uncle Henrik have lied to Anne-Marie? So that would be your two people that you're comparing. Or it doesn't even have to be anything from your issue, but characters from the story, just to start helping them generate ideas for their topic, for their issue. So the first thing you're going to do, you're still going to do your comparison. So what do both A and B do? So they both, here, so this is your verbs. If this helps help them kind of think about doing, that's verbs. They both tell stories, they both lie, they both help Jews, and they both go into the woods. So these are things that both Anne-Marie and her mother do. And then we're going to find out nouns. What do both have? What do both Anne-Marie and her mother have? Well, they both have friends, they both have the package, and they both have courage. And then we're going to do our adjectives for what do they both are. Well, they're both scared. And then we can even do what do both groups belong to. So you could even do this group of what they are. Well, they both are females. They both belong in the group of females. So do this first to help them start getting some ideas together. And then in this column, we're going to say A does more or less than B, and you're going to describe that difference. You may not be able to fill that in for every single thing, but you can fill it in for the ones that that A does more or less than B. So in here, for instance, they both lie, but Anne-Marie only did it once to the soldiers. And we see in the book that Mother actually did it several times to her family, friends, and her enemies. And then when we go down and do that. So they also both helped the Jews, but Anne-Marie only helped a short time. So we see how either more or less she's helping. Anne-Marie helped less, while Mother helped many times. And then we didn't have anything here for go in the woods. And then we have A does something better or worse than B. And once again, you can just look through these. Well, they both tell stories, but Anne-Marie tells stories to Kirsty to escape real life, while Mother tells stories to calm kids and face fears. They both lie, but Anne-Marie was better, so we're looking at better or worse, because she only lied to the enemy, while Mother lied to her own family too. Both go into the woods, but Anne-Marie did it better, since she made it to Uncle Henrik's boat while Mother fell and had to go home. So these are the differences that we're looking at. We're looking at who did these things more or less, better or worse. And so just try to generate as much ideas as you can there. And we're going to do the exact same thing for have. Did they have more friends, more or less friends? Did they have more or less packages, more or less courage? So here, this isn't really any differences in that sense. But we do have A has better or worse than B. So we can describe that difference. So Anne-Marie and Mother both have friends, but Anne-Marie's friend is Ellen and is her mother. So here, Mother has a package, but Anne-Marie took care of it better because she's able to take it to Uncle while Mother cannot. They both have courage, but Anne-Marie's is worse because she's unaware of her courage, while Mrs. Johnson's became more courageous after her daughter, Liza, I don't know how to say that, died for her country. So once again, it's just the same thing. We're just taking each of our do, haves, and ares, and we're seeing A has more or less than B, or B has more or less, and then better or worse. So that's really just how we're looking at the differences. And like I said, you may be able to fill these in, you may not. You may won't be able to fill a few of these in. So, same thing. So this here is A is more than B. So both are scared, but Anna Marie is more scared than Mother because Mother has more experience doing this. And then nothing here we could fill in for that. And then better or worse down here. Both are female, but Anna Marie's only 10 and Mother's much older. So it's pretty simple. And then you can, that might help generate ideas as to, but we can talk about the groups. Both are female. Anna Marie's a child. She's an adult. They're related. Anna Marie's a daughter. Lots of differences that you can come up with. And this is really just to help you generate ideas for your Annie. And all of this information would go into, or any of these ideas would go into your I column that could eventually be transferred to your A or N column. So let me know if this makes sense or if it's still kind of unclear, if you need me to help you walk through this with your kiddo's issue or with the terms that they use. But I hope this helps. If you'd like this document, I could also email you this document. I emailed you a blank one, but I could also email you a filled-in one if you would like it. So I hope that helps. I hope that your work week with your, I hope the work week with your kiddos goes well, that you all have grace with each other and patience and work hard and do fun things and good things. And I love you all and hope you have a great week.